Hey, this is Mr. Griffin, and I'm just gonna jump right into this without much accoutrement. You see the title down below me, talking about WWE's double standard on Hulk Hogan and racism. Now, let me say this right off the bat. From a strictly business standpoint, I get why WWE did what they did. In fact, I don't blame them. Hulk Hogan, when those comments came out, it doesn't matter whether it was 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 20 years ago. If you're going to use that logic, then we should let Nazi war criminals still live their lives. They're still hunting them down. In fact, they just recently found one. And he's like, what, 90-something years old? And they still making him serve his prison sentence for what happened in World War II. And World War II was like, what, 50, 60 years ago? So, obviously, there's a double standard in and of itself from people that want to say that are okay with that, but want to say that Hulk Hogan should be excused for his comments. But that's another issue for another time. And but going to what was said, what was done by WWE, I get why they did it. You realize when those comments hit to those people that want to say people should just get over it with Hulk Hogan, you do realize WWE lost $50 million in stock value because of those comments. You cannot overlook that. The quote, to use a little pun that I like using, that's like getting hit by Mike Tyson in his prime with a swift uppercut to the balls. Yeah, very painful. And I imagine Vince and them was pissed. What I don't get is the hypocrisy on their part. They're basically now giving him the Chris Benoit treatment. They're virtually erasing any mention of... I'd say the only way you can see Hulk Hogan now is on WWE's network, like via the pay-per-views, because good luck with trying to erase them out of those. But you know what? Even though I've already said fuck Hulk Hogan and I meant every word, at the same time, WWE, you can't talk. You're not really going against Hulk Hogan because what he did was wrong and this and that. You're not doing it for any moral reason. You're doing it because of this and because he got caught. And you're trying to cover your ass because his name has been so associated with your organization for the past, what, 20, 30 years? That you're just trying to cover your ass. That's all that is. Because this is the same company that in the 1980s, and I can point out, not just racial sins, I can point out a whole lot of sins with WWE. Who thought it was cool to imply that Randy Macho Man Savage might be, at the very least, verbally abusive to Miss Elizabeth, if not actually putting hands on her. Go back and look at some of those skits with Macho Man Elizabeth, especially when he's a heel, very, very closely. Who thought, this is the same company who thought it was cool to let Rowdy Roddy Piper go out there in half blackface or half black body at WrestleMania 6. This is the same company that had a character called the Slickster that was a straight up pimp. I mean, one of the very stereotypes of black men. Who, on top of that, when they showed his video years ago, and I didn't realize this as a kid, but looking back on it as a dog, I'm like, this is racist as shit. They showed him, the first scene they show him is him eating fried chicken, which is the dumbest stereotype of all, because if you ever live in the South, everybody eats fried chicken. Yes, including even white folks. Everybody eats fried chicken. Go to a Southern Baptist picnic sometime, okay? Then this is the same company who, one of their biggest legends ever, Andre the Giant, Bad News Brown, the late Bad News Brown, may he rest in peace, by the way. The late Bad News Brown talked about how racist Andre the Giant was at times, to the point where he actually challenged him to a fight. And he didn't back down. He didn't care. He was almost 2 foot taller than him and weighed almost 200, 300 more pounds than him. He didn't give a damn. And Andre backed the fuck off. He didn't say shit else to him. This is the same company who thought it was cool to put racial slurs on it in the angle for the nation of domination from Degeneration X. This is the same company that thought it was cool for Triple H to pretty much tell Booker T during their feud in 2003, "Get your nappy head out of my ring." And we know, I mean, don't play stupid. We know what that meant. This is the same company that thought it was cool for their tag team, the Mexicools, to come out riding lawnmowers. This is the same company that thought it was cool for Kai Tide to play little subservient idiots. This is the same company that thought that it was cool for Vince McMahon to do the Kiss My Ass Club, where almost every week we got to see his crusty, unlotioned, untanned, pale white ass on national television. But yet during the Rock's Revenge skit, when they was teasing Trish Stratus, we only see her front. We don't even get a good look at the side. And this was back when Trish Stratus had hella, I mean, not that she doesn't look good now, but this is back when she had hella ass. I mean, damn. We can see Vince's all day, but we can't see Trish's. And that was the birth of my famous phrase, "Ain't that some bullshit?" But anyway, this is the same company that thought it was cool to have Edge and Lita do a live sex celebration where Lita was practically butt naked under the covers. This is the same company who thought that it was okay on a pay-per-view for Vince McMahon to walk up to John Cena and go, "What's up, my nigga?" in front of Booker T. I don't give a shit if Booker T did sign off, and if he did, he ought to be smacked in the head for that shit. That should never, even some of the people behind the scenes of WWE even told Vince, "Look, I don't think this is a good idea to do this skit." But he did it anyway. Even they were uncomfortable with that skit. I mean, I could go on and on. There's all kinds of examples. So WWE, for them to try to pretend they were outraged about Hulk Hogan's comments, no. I would even be willing to bet they knew all along he was a racist. They knew all along, because his views is probably similar to what the McMahon's family probably thinks. Well, we know Vince usually is. There's rumors that Linda actually is one. I wouldn't be surprised if Shane and Stephanie were one. There's hints that Triple H is one. So I'm not shocked. They only doing it to cover their ass. They're doing it for this. They're not outraged by what Hulk Hogan said. It's bullshit. In fact, if you want to come at every sin and remove him from the Hall of Fame, and the fact that he's getting the Chris Benoit treatment, okay, me as a black man, hell yeah, I was offended by what Hulk Hogan, particularly on The Rock. I was offended as hell by what he said. But you know what? There's a big difference between racist rant and killing your wife and son and hanging yourself. I can understand distancing yourself. I can understand firing Hulk Hogan. They were right to fire Hulk Hogan from a strictly business standpoint. But to virtually erase him? No, I'm not with that at all. Hulk Hogan did way too much in professional wrestling to be erased. As far as, you know, his status as a wrestling legend, I will stand by that all day long. But that's probably the only part I'll stand by Hulk Hogan on. Just like I was never in favor of erasing Chris Benoit. Yes, what he did was bullshit. Brain damaged or not. And I hope he's rotting and burning somewhere. But as a wrestler, he did. I mean, he wasn't Hulk Hogan level by no means. But he did too much to have his history erased. And he's part of too many guys' careers to have his history erased. I was never in favor of that, and I'm glad WWE didn't go there. too much with him when it came to the WWE Network. But overall, this fake outrage by Vince and them, they're not mad because of what Hulk Hogan said. They're mad because they lost $50 million. Millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars. They lost $50 million. That's why they're pissed off. It had nothing to do with, don't be fooled. They could care less. Don't be surprised though if they start pushing a couple of black wrestlers just to shut people up. Don't be surprised within a few weeks you see Sasha Banks holding both the NXT title and the Divas title, which me personally, not only as a black man, but just as a wrestling fan, and I'm sure many of you, just as wrestling fans, wouldn't exactly mind seeing that, but don't be surprised if it happens. It may have happened anyway, but don't be surprised if it happens. I wouldn't be surprised if I wake up one day like Seth Rollins somehow is still WWE champion, and then come up one Monday Night Raw, Kofi Kingston come out and somehow beats him for the WWE, which that definitely won't happen. Oh, hell no. That won't happen. But don't be surprised if they dial it back a little bit with the stereotypes. Because, you know, even though what Hulk Hogan said was dead wrong, some people, myself included, are kind of looking at WWE sideways like, really? Really? Get the fuck out of here. We know it ain't about no moral stance. It's about you lost $50 million. And I will say it again. You lost $50 million. And that is why WWE is pissed off. WWE, yes, you were right to fire Hulk Hogan and distance yourself. But this whole erasure of Hulk Hogan, sit the fuck down. Y'all mad because y'all lost some bread. Y'all could care less. You know, that I read that little statement that they made. Bullshit. It ain't about no moral stance and all that. When WWE, expect pro wrestling in general, but WWE in particular, has had a long history of being stereotypical and racist with some of their characters. So that whole thing about, you know, oh, we want to be all, you know, accepting is a bullshit. You're mad because you lost some money and you were scared you was going to lose more. From a business standpoint, you did the right thing, but don't pretend you did it for some moralistic reason, because you didn't. WWE, you full of shit on that part. And with that, I end this video. I'm Mr. Griffin. Have a nice day, folks.